Hey everybody, I wanted to jump on here real quick today and just go over something that is occurring in the real estate industry. It is set to occur August 17th, and there's been a lot of questions about it, especially if you're going to be a buyer. So part of the NAR settlement agreement, as well as Keller Williams and other brokerages, is we have to have a exclusive buyer agency signed with a buyer before we can tour homes with you. Now you're thinking, I don't even know this buyer or this agent, so why would I want to sign a contract with them to see a home? Well, that's part of the settlement agreement, and it doesn't matter which realtor you work with as a buyer's agent, you still have to do this. So one of the things that I wanted to do is jump on here and go over some of the language that's embedded into the Michigan Realtors Exclusive Buyer Agency contract and explain them in details. The first one's going to be that we do have to have you sign the agreement before touring a home. Now, the agreement can be specific just to one home, or it can be, blanketed through for residential property in Michigan or commercial property in Michigan or what have you. If you are uncomfortable, please dig in and ask more questions of the agent that you're speaking with so that you can get to know them a little bit better and see if you're comfortable signing that. That's what it's going to come down to ultimately. My typical conversation with a new buyer and a potential new client is I have a 20 to 30 minute conversation about everything. Don't divulge anything that is confidential, like your price point, anything. This is just kind of like a meet and greet telephone call or a meet and greet at the office, just so you can feel comfortable signing that. We do have to have that signed before we can enter into a home and show it to you. The second one is the language that's actually in the contract. And I'm just going to read it to you. We have to disclose the brokerage firm's fee for services rendered is not set by law and is fully negotiable. So it is negotiable between you and your buyer's agent. Now, typically, we have always managed to get the seller to pay our commission. This is kind of working in coordinated effort with that, and I will explain that in a few minutes. So it says, in the event a buyer contracts to purchase the desired property, buyer will pay broker a fee equal to X. We can no longer leave that open-ended. It has to have a commission or a dollar amount stated in it. And we can only receive that amount or less. We cannot receive over it. So that's why we have to fill that in. Another reason. Then it just states, the commission is due and payable upon closing, provided, however, if the transaction does not close due to any part of default by the buyer, the obligation shall apply to any purchase agreements executed during the term of this agreement. We cannot leave the agreement open-ended. We can't say that the agreement starts June 1st and it never expires. We have to have an expiration date. That's just basic contract law. The section below this, because I have a lot of buyers that are like, I don't want to pay you X commission. I don't have that kind of money. The next statement below that says compensation credit. Buyer will receive a credit against any amount owed pursuant to what I just told you above for any compensation paid to broker by the seller or the seller's listing broker. What you're going to find are addendums that we're going to be writing when we write up your purchase agreement to ask the seller to pay that commission, to alleviate that from you. We have to have both of them in this agreement. I know it sounds kind of crazy. There's a lot of hesitation about, I don't understand why I have to sign this. It's part of what we have to do as realtors now. And my team and I, we have really been going forward with this. We're being proactive. We're starting to do that now before the August 17th mandated date because we want to already be in that habit when it starts. Some realtors are not doing that, and that's okay. We all work at our own pace. I just prefer to have the buyer agency agreement, exclusive buyer agency contract signed ahead of time so that we've checked that box. Just wanted to jump on here. If you have questions about the new changes coming in the real estate industry, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a discussion with you regarding what the changes are, why it happened, and how it works. You know, what's going to be the process for that. I'm happy to go over it with you. You need to know, and you've got questions. I'm here to answer those for you. Give me a call, 269-317-9857.